What's my least favorite deity to Fated Altar into? Relema? Now that's a question. So when we got Sif Muna on a previous character that definitely wasn't the actual first Ant that we played, since again this is the first Formicid that we played in the series, that was kind of rough, but at least we kind of spun it into a fun adventure of using Divine Exegesis. I think getting Trog on a lot of characters sucks, because then it completely closes off an avenue of the game from you, so that's a bit more brutal than something like Sif, where like sure I'm not getting the best advantages, but I'm still able to use everything just fine. So I think Trog is up there for Fated Altars because it's so limiting in a very like distinct, stark way. Your first few games with OA sucked, Gord? Oh, opportunity attacks. Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, it's going to be a nightmare for me. Sorry, my brain broke there for a second. Delphon, you think that you do still walk away from enemies next to you sometimes, but only to reposition a few tiles? Fair enough. You can't go on a marathon sprint, but you can duck into a hallway just over there. I'd hope so, because that's a huge part of the game. Cats still generally need to be fed every day. Corn snakes only need to be fed once per week. Oh, wow. Yeah, I think the nice thing with cats is as long as you don't have a cat that's too, like, food motivated, you can put out any amount of food and they'll kind of self-regulate, but that's definitely fair enough. Another level of low maintenance there. Yeah, makes sense for sure. That one would be Trog, obviously strong god, but so boring to play, and yeah, so limiting. Rubbery, you're still not quite used to the opportunity attacks, but it moved towards magic characters because of it. Well, that works out for me, because I do very much enjoy magic characters regardless. Also, I forgot to buy these boots, but I'm going to do so now while we're chatting. Don't know how often you need to clean a kitty litter box. You've always had outdoor cats, but for indoors you'd guess once a week, but once per month is enough to clean up the snake tank. Nice, nice. Hackabit is a much better amulet ego now. Ooh, that makes sense. Yeah, when you're taking those steps away in attacks of opportunity, that's huge. But we got +6 plate armor with RC. I'll probably take that. We lose out on a bit of willpower. How do I feel about that? So we go up 6 AC. Lose willpower, but we could always swap like this ring if we so desired. Because we do have this willpower one right here as well. Lose our Lek, which besides looking out for brands shouldn't be a huge deal here in Shoals. I think that that's actually okay. Let's make it work. I mean, okay, gloves 100% coming on, that's awesome. We no longer need cold resistance, but we keep this around for the flying willpower, so that's gonna stick here for now. And in fact, let's head to the stairs while we do some management shuffling here, shall we? And decide what we do and do not wish to wear. Rubber, you're happy you got Greater Minotaur before the change? Fair enough, for sure. Don't know how much I'll be able to accomplish for the change, but even the fact that Formicids are probably my last... I mean, I was going to say melee-focused character. Obviously, you don't have to play melee on a Formicid, but it was the last character that's really viable for pure melee builds, so that's why I'm taking this as a good opportunity to give that a shot before I'm onto mostly spellcasters for the final section of this series. Zom is an interesting Fated Altar because you can wait for some decent mutes to build up, and they do usually go in your favor. And then change to a good one, and the penalty is basically the same as worshipping Zom anyway. It's obviously not good, but it's interesting. Zom is its own, is their own fun wild ride in general too. No, that was one of the deities that we played with, I think in the first Crawl tournament that we did after I started streaming Crawl. And our only win in that tournament was with an Octopode of Zom, somehow. It was a wild adventure, especially Zot 5 was a nightmare, as I just got teleported around between various groups of enemies constantly. But it was a fun roller coaster, to say the least, still. But okie dokie, I think we're going to swap into the new armor here. And then... I think I need the willpower and swap out the Arlek, and we'll give that one a good old shot here and see how it goes. We lose a little bit of strength back down to our kind of normal amount, but that's fine. And there we go. What have we got? Oh my gosh, the storm bow. Screw crossbows. We're now a bow boy. We do have to fight up against a -2 aptitude, but the storm bow is so good. That penetration effect is just wild. At least mark it. We probably won't buy it right away because that's half of our current funds and there's no huge rush. It's going to take a while to train up. If we take a look at you, need 20 training for min delay. I can do that. I can do that. Where are we sitting everywhere else? Crossbows is up to 14 now. Short blades is almost up to min delay on our poking stick here. So we'd be fighting a -2 aptitude all the way up to 20. We don't have to go all the way, obviously. Even just having it at 1 attack per turn makes it an incredible weapon, so there is that. Cyborg, you still haven't found an identify scroll? You know you have good stuff. Yeah. Octopode is really only good for 15 runes. It's all 15 or nothing. Fair enough. To a certain extent, I could see that. And bows do not cross-train with crossbows. Unfortunately not, no. Octozom, mad respect. Also, next tournament is in a month. I'm excited. Yeah, it should be fun. We'll probably throw together another team. Fairly casual team at that, especially since I'm usually the one who does the least amount of playing throughout the course of the tournament. Don't have a lot of time to fit in. But always an exciting time, and I have a lot of fun with those tournament runs. Especially trying out some of the new stuff to the stable release. That'll be awesome. Yeah, here, we can do a quick check. See for how many arrows we have around. Seems like a lot, so I think it's gonna have to happen. Start training this in the background. I don't know how high we'll go. Probably not all the way to 20 if I had to guess. And in fact, let's start also training like shields at the same time, so we're at least doing something else productive with our time. And do I want Evo? Probably want a little bit of Evo. Let's just pop that up to something like 14 and give it a shot, shall we? You keep watching my game more than yours, and you're only in D3. The D3 and B crawls like D4 in the normal game since it's shorter. I'll take that as a compliment for sure. Sorry to distract you from your game, but thanks for hanging around, because it's definitely been a good time on my end. Always love to have people hanging out. Oh, that's not my stairs. Whoopsie daisies. Just gonna keep dancing until this son of a gun makes the foolish mistake of walking next to me. Fantastic. Love to see it, and that works for me. Cyborg, you didn't play in the last tournament since the people that you knew either weren't interested in you joining them or weren't interested in the tournament, but if you're in a team, you'd go for it? Nice, yeah. Response counted as Terrence, should be an easy win, it's not Grinder. Right, and I'm happy that we actually found Grinder on this character, but we managed to make it through. Though, to be fair, Grinder, again, on a Formicid, not nearly as scary as they are on other early game characters. Please don't do that. Jeez Louise. Not like this. There we go. Javelineer down. That's the biggest challenge, though the Windrakes still aren't exactly complete pushovers. But that is wonderful. Get some more Javelins as well. Fantastic. So we could check out another runed chainmail. Wow. Glowing scale mail. Probably alright. The scarf, on the other hand, if it's a scarf of resistance, that's huge. So let's give it a shot, shall we? Scarf of Shadows is not. Scarf of Resistance. I think we're gonna have to drop that since we are using ranged an okay amount here. Makes no real sense to limit ourselves. This is the most shops I've ever found in Shoals. Holy moly. You actually usually do pretty good against Grinder. I'm hit or miss. I feel like I do well against Grinder, but a large part of that is that I run away from Grinder, if I'm at all concerned. It's a similar thing to like where I stand currently with Sigmund, where it's like Sigmund doesn't kill me that often anymore, and it's because I have a very healthy fear of Sigmund, and so I pretty much never fight them unless I'm able to. So I feel like it skews the results a little bit in my favor in that regard. Excuse me, if you could come this way, please and thank you. There is that Aquamancer around. Oops, did not mean to do a dump. There we go. Full cold resistance will be huge against the Aquamancer. Still, Primal Wave can hurt, but that's nice. The only reason the Grinder is considered hard is because she's encountered so early, but usually when you find her and go down the floor, after you clear it, Grinder comes easy. Exactly, as long as you're not going to die to a single paralyzed, where you get paralyzed and then she just murders you in one set of turns there, it's usually not too bad. Terrence is almost always easy when first encountered though, for sure. And Dennis, you got a Demigod Wanderer home with a Randart Scarf of Resistance, plus Strength and Dex, nice. Scarf of Resistance is huge for sure. One of my favorite basic egos, and if you can find it on a Randart like that, then holy moly are you in business. Okay, lots of friends. Let's walk away so we don't face them and the Aquamancer if at all possible. And apparently when we stand next to plants, our damage goes up a decent amount, I should say. Just because we get the extra arcs from the bushes, which is not expected, but I am glad for. And hello, my friends. We'll just get a stab in here real quick. Fantastic. First Aquamancer went better than expected. Similar with the Javelineer that we fought earlier, to be fair. Way better than expected, since that's always terrifying. Natasha, however, find her is always a joy, and yeah, she can surprise you when she comes back, but if you know how it works, she's easy XP. See, that's where I unfortunately don't feel the same about Natasha, but that's because, again, of one of my own self-imposed, self-inflicted rulings, where I do not allow myself to kill Natasha if at all possible. I try and save our feline friend whenever I can. Sometimes it goes all right, sometimes it gets me very close to death. I don't know if it's ever been straight up the cause of my death thus far, but I'm kind of surprised that that's the case. Because yeah, it's all those self-imposed rules that I usually get myself into a wee bit of trouble, to say the least. Dennis and Stoat Soup, you have Randart Scarves. Ah, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. I feel like my brain broke a little there, and I just assumed that I'd been wrong my entire DCSS playing time. But that makes more sense. Hey, you can feel safe killing her once or twice, which we did in this run, because yeah, we got cornered a couple of times, and unfortunately it had to be done. But that's, yeah, as far as I'm willing to go, and then it usually becomes a bit more of a battle of attrition, making sure that I don't do anything too stupid, but also retain my moral high ground, you know? Okay, so that shield is barely slowing us. I think I'm happy with the swap. Getting a reflection branded kite shield right as we're into shoals is fantastic. Huge upgrade there. We can hopefully use that to good effect. Oh gosh. This could go poorly very quickly, so I'm just gonna walk until right about there. So I always like to get it to where you're one step away from safety against a Kraken. And then though, you can take a couple of swings and then heal up. And I'd like to try and face you again, because I feel like with Static Discharge, do we just wreck a Kraken if in the right situation here? Maybe? Natasha's saying ah backwards though. Saying ah! No, yeah, you're definitely right there. And Ramalani just stepped around a corner. Sigmund, Natasha, and Grinder instantly confused. Oh, we manifested it into being by talking about them, I guess. They felt a heat around their ears. Realized that, hey, is somebody discussing me? Apologies for bringing that evil upon you. Maybe I just Ice Blast you? I can hit 5 of them at once? How's that do? Fantastic. There we go. Nice amount of experience all across the board here. Okie dokie. We are pretty much out of time for the evening. Do I want to do one more floor, or at least start it off? Probably end up in a near-death experience and then deciding to leave it for the night, or I die. It's usually one or the other, really. Not quite close enough of a near-death there. Unfortunately, my stupid brain needs it to be on the very, very cusp of I pretty much deserve to die, and then and only then will I free myself from this eternal torture. Plus 10 battle axe, electric brandage, 3 pips of willpower. Battle axe of painful death. Hopefully not my own. That's kind of wild. I mean, electric brand isn't great on a battle axe. 3 pips of willpower, though. That's tempting to do another full swap of weapon use types. Oh my gosh, another Kraken, though. How about that? Why, hello there, friend. I probably don't want to fight you and these fawns, but I guess we have reflection brands, so there is that. And oh my gosh, if your tentacles get in the way of our holy friends here, that's not bad. Okay, it was tempting to keep at that, but I think we have to play it slightly safer here. Yeah. You know that near-death scenario we were talking about earlier? This is a bit more like it. Okay, we either murder them with reflected shots or get hit by way too much damage. Apparently there is no middle ground. And here we are. Let's just get shooting on our side of things. Get Arcane as well. And are you still around, my Kraken friend? Oh, geez, you are. No kidding. Okay, let's dance, you and I. Why are you heading up that way? Interesting. They must know more about the layout of the ocean floor here than I do, which is fair enough, seeing as how they do live there. Let's just blast you, and then if I can get an arc here, and one more, feel a bit more experienced. Fantastic. Love to see it. Guess who you just found? Surety summoned a Crimson Imp. Perfect. Wouldn't have it any other way. Again, anytime you speak of the devil, they shall appear, or something like that. And let's just electrocute all these buddies. And we're back into the mix here. Against all my better judgment, we're gonna give it another shot and see how she goes. How hard do you hit again? 50 damage? That's too much, my friend. Too much. We can be a little cheesy as long as we're on flat ground, or on ground I should say. Fortunately, this son of a gun is fairly slow, but anything could change in a heartbeat if we're not careful here, so let's definitely keep an eye out on our health and how close they are, and just try to abuse their slow terrestrial nature as much as we possibly can. In fact, let's just see how that goes. Yeah, not great, unfortunately. About what I expected, I would say. Okay. Ocean petition early. Oh my gosh. Now this might be the last event of the evening, regardless of how it goes down. 20 damage plus your trident. Am I better off making my own alligator snapping turtle? I'm debating using the phantom mirror, essentially. We do have the fear for sure. Potentially gets rid of you, very likely gets rid of all of these folks. I think we're gonna have to go for it. Yeah, snapping turtle is not biting, as it were. So we're just gonna spend a lot of money here real quick. That's a bit rougher. I guess invisibility, it's expensive, but getting invisibility and some healing might be helpful. And I probably shouldn't even hang around here. Let's not be too silly, shall we? Unless I can kill these sons of guns in one fell swoop, or fell swoop even. That's huge. Kill you, and a couple of regular old merfolk. I mean, you are the ones with the nets, so there is that to contend with. But otherwise, fairly manageable. So let's just bring you kiddos upstairs real quick. Ooh, apparently I left a merfolk up here. That's not great news to learn about after the fact. Fortunately, we didn't come up in a dire state of emergency, otherwise this would have been brutal. 2 kills done. Almost there. That's the thing, as much as I have my self-inflicted rule, all the power to you for attempting to murder them if possible. Best of luck. We're gonna keep firing off a few times. I guess, are you an enemy I can paralyze? You are. Might want to do that. And get the heck out of dodge here real quick. And where are you, my friend? Rinse and repeat. This is just my life now, apparently. As long as I'm not one hit away from dead, though, we can get a little bit cheesy. And that is perfect. Now, do I call it now, or do I finish off the floor? Tempted to at least check out the rest of the floor, you know, get a feel for it, see how things are looking, see how they're feeling. Oops, stepped the wrong way. There we go, that's more like it. And that is fantastic. Avatars shouldn't be too much of a problem, and I'm glad they aren't. Javelineers, though, are another beast altogether. You kiddos should be a-okay. Fantastic stuff. And let's just keep with it here as much as we possibly can. Hopefully nothing quite as dire as what we saw a few moments ago, and we will be in business and feeling pretty good about it. There's the scrolls of blinking finally found, so we can drop those sons of guns here. Feels bad, man, to be dropping 3 scrolls of blinking. I know there have been many opportunities where I would have killed for such a bounty, but of course it just makes sense with our good old ant friend here. Bjornir's Vial, Bjornir's Revivification, Necromutation, and Death's Door. Now that would have been a wild mix. That's exactly what we were looking at on our Sif Muna melee character a while back. Was getting some of those insta panic button spells just for Divine Exegesis, but that's fine. Sidebar, you said on magic, orcs are only good at fire and conjuration, B-Crawl, and you have 4 spells with that combo? Perfect. Okay, that went surprisingly well. Are you okay, Merfolk Javelineer? I don't think that Merfolk Javelineer was okay. Ooh, Scroll of Acquirement? Now that's not too shabby either. Potions of Flight. Probably won't really have much need for. And where did you go? I'm gonna kind of dance around here. I was hoping that you were a wee bit closer to me, my friend, if I'm being honest. Guess I can still do something like that? That's not great. Hey, get over here. Yeah, I need to take you to a water's edge is what I've learned. Fair enough, and that is much better. Look at all those blink scrolls, right? Just a bountiful treasury there. Oh, and speaking of treasury, actually, do you know what would be nice? If I got a treasure trove asking for blink scrolls on this character. That would change the slant completely to being in our favor, and I'd be cheering from the mountaintops. Never have too many blink scrolls. On anyone else, yes. Even on now, on this character. Still gonna have too many. Should almost just collect them all to return them, to sell them up above ground. Because I'm pretty sure they'd make a pretty penny. And I'm always looking into what is kind of business ventures can I get into after leaving the dungeon, because I'm not short-sighted enough to believe this is it for me, or for Adam Ant here, to be more clear about it. No, this is just the beginning of a lifetime of success. Power, money, whatever kind of ants you're into, Adam, you know, all of that. It's coming, baby, it's coming. Whatever you give up for entering Trove is usually worth it, though. Oh, I don't know about that. If a Trove is asking for 6 blinking scrolls and I'm not a Formicid, no shot. Not even a little bit. With Balfon, you got the Ring of Gak there, flying RFRC and triple positive energy. Heck yeah, that's awesome. Cyber, you played a game where you never used any and had like 15 blink scrolls and still needed most of them? Wow. Pretty sure the game makes sure Troves don't ask for useless items. Gosh, darn it. Also, if you do Mega Zigs, you'll end up with hundreds of blink scrolls. Yeah, I think I have a fair few on my one pseudo Mega Zig character. Only few, I think only gone through a few Zigs, and then I just haven't played them in a long time, but you start picking them up pretty dang quick. And you've only ever gone into 2 Troves, and both times it was worth it. Nice. Then definitely got a bit lucky. I mean, it depends on your character, right? Because you can get like an Armor Trove, which can suck if you're on a character that isn't able to use most of that armor because you're either a spellcaster or you're just unable to equip them. Maybe the game tries not to give you armor troves if you know you're a Felid or something like that, but I've definitely gone them on spellcasters that had no intention of touching armor of that weight, and fortunately not quite worth it there. But all depends on, again, your character, your luck, lots of factors going in. But regardless of all of that, I think this will be the end of the evening for us here. We'll finish it off with a reading of this acquirement scroll and see what we find. Pair of Gloves of Divine Compulsion is just a worse version of what I'm currently wearing. Wow. Staff of Fire is useless. Ring of Kasi, probably not great. I'm lacking fire resistance across the board here, so I don't think I can appeal to that. Having resist poison and willpower on a ring seems kind of nice. Since we were just trucking around, I'm surprised, by the way, sea snakes haven't been the death of me without any resistance to poison, but who knows? Don't question the will of the universe, just take advantage of it instead. So I think, though, the only option here is, you know, to make Gozeg proud. Let's just grab ourselves a nice little cash influx, shall we? And that should be fantastic. Belfoni once got into a treasure trove that had a wand of digging, and each of its items was behind a translucent rock wall. You were a Rue worshipper who had sacrificed artifice. Oh no. Devs later adjusted that troves do not spawn for characters without access to digging wands. That's nice. That is brutal. And yes, I definitely agree. Well, as you could tell from what I went for, gold is best. And thanks to Rubbery Chicken for the follow as well. It's nice to see some new faces today. Rubbery Chicken, thank you for dropping on by and saying hello and checking us out and hanging around. And of course, huge thanks to all of you for watching and joining us on the journey here. I had a heck of a time. I definitely hope you enjoyed as well. Thanks to each and every one of you, you know, for chatting alongside us in chat here, if you're just lurking in the background, or if you're watching this down the road through the VODs or on YouTube. Thanks, each and every one of you. Couldn't do it without you, and have such a fun time, such a wild ride, getting to go through this together. So hopefully we can continue this wild ride specifically with Adam Ant here when we get back to it next week on Sunday, and maybe, just maybe, make our way out of Formicid and into the sunlight, into the great wide world. It's going to be a fun one. And with an ant still alive, what do you mean, Safid? We'd never do anything different, right? Since this is our first ant, you see, is the thing. I don't know what you're talking about. Definitely never ended streams after murdering like 4 or 5 different ants. Doesn't ring a bell at all whatsoever. Not even a little bit, but regardless, yes, thanks everyone. Kind of frazzle brain today. Again, I'm just gonna blame everything on getting my booster, and I'm just, you know, out of sorts, and there's that. So Let's do a quick check though to see who is live at the moment and who we can send off a raid to here at the end of the evening. And, you know, as has become usual for our Sunday streams recently, nobody on my follow list is live at the moment. So, again, I might just have to let you all loose like leaves in the wind here. If anyone has a streamer that they'd like us to say hello to and send us off to, definitely speak now or forever hold your peace. But otherwise, I'm happy to just say goodbye and thank you all once again for joining us. I hope you enjoy or have as much fun with the series as I do, as always. And yeah, we'll be back on Wednesday. I think we're going to try something a little bit different, and we're going to play some Deep Rock Galactic. If you own the game, definitely come on by and potentially try and join into our public lobbies, because I think that could be a lot of fun. But otherwise, just come on by, hang out, chat, all the usual stuff. Always a good time. Or, of course, next Sunday, we'll be back into the routine, as mentioned earlier, and hopefully piloting Adam here to a happy lifetime. So we'll give that a shot. But regardless of all of that, I definitely hope that you're all having a great morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time it is for you, and I definitely hope to see you again soon. I'll see you.